Welcome back to the Jesse Rucinski show. It worked on the first try again. Thank you, God. I was going to do this yesterday. Here we are. Today we're going to cover, all the stuff that we all knew was going to happen. I mean, anyone that tries to say they're actually surprised by what's happening and everything that's been said since the verdict came out is evidently an idiot. And everyone that's saying all of this is just showing how blatantly stupid they are and ignorant to actual laws and facts and how many times it gets disproven. All the talking heads, all the people, crazy people like Jerry Nadler, however they say it, the talking heads on MSNBC and all them keep just, celebrities, no matter how much it gets proven to be wrong. They keep, doing the same, like they keep just pushing and pushing and pushing. So we're going to go over a bunch of it today. Hopefully, I don't go forever, but I mean, there's just so much stupid. It hurts my head. And we're going to start off with our favorite person in the world, Joe Biden. Oh, quote, while the verdict will leave many Americans feeling angry and concerned, myself included, we must acknowledge that the jury has spoken. I ran on a promise to bring Americans together because I believe that what unites us is far greater than what divides us. I know that we're not going to heal our country's wounds overnight, but I remain steadfast in my commitment to do everything in my power to ensure that every American is treated equally with fairness and dignity under the law. So can someone please enlighten me what they're concerned and angry about? Like, can someone please enlighten me? Like, I'm not trying to be a dick either. Could someone enlighten me where we're supposed to be angry about or concerned? I mean, Rosenbaum, I don't know if I'm have a wrote down for later, but last time I checked, there was, lots of counts of, child, abuse and sexual child abuse, like lots of counts while I was in jail for a while. All these guys, the guy whose name there was a star witness that survived. He wasn't even supposed to have a gun. He was a felon with a gun pointing it at his, Kyle Rittenhouse. When he got shot, that's when Kyle started shooting, when he pointed a loaded weapon he was not supposed to have as a felon at his head. And we're making this felon who's illegally carrying a firearm out to be the victim when he was attacking the guy and pointed a weapon at someone else's face. I'm pretty sure, your hand can't get shot if it's not on the barrel. Just throwing it out there. But we'll get into all that. What is there to be like? Because self-defense actually, the statute actually worked, and people and the judge actually is no, really, they have the right to remain silent. So what the hell are you even bringing that up for? Or what are you doing that for? There's actually someone standing up for the actual Constitution and all that through MSNBC after, they were caught, tailing the jury's bus, running red lights to do it. What does everybody mad about? He was attacked. It was 100% clear-cut self-defense, and you're angry and concerned. You actually have to be batshit senile and just blatantly ignorant to how the whole entire planet works if you're bothered by any of that, angry and concerned about any of it. Maybe because it took so long for them to come back. When you look at the statute, it is 100%. But angry and concerned baffles me. But let's get into some of these people. Shameless star Emmy Rossum. This is a devastating blow. Please again, where by the law, by them, three felons, one of them, that raped children, attacking him, lighting things on fire, starting all that, which the prosecutor even admitted that Rosenbaum's out there starting fights, starting fires. So he wasn't out there doing his First Amendment right shit. He wasn't peacefully protesting nothing. He was lighting things on fire and starting incidents. They pointed weapons at him. They swung skateboards at him. I'm just trying to figure out where all this comes in. LeVar Burton, I'm pretty sure he's most famous for telling us all to take a look. It's in a book. Yeah. And he said, tell me again, there are not two kinds of justice in America. Well, I mean, I could tell you for sure there's not two kinds, because this case has nothing to do with any of the other cases. You stupid schmuck. So how about you take a look and you read that book, LeVar? I have one around here somewhere. Must have dog ate it again. already eaten one. Yeah, wherever it might be, it's the U.S. Constitution, Bill of Rights, all that's all right there in one thing. Read that book, you stupid shit. Broadway star Patti LuPone. The Rittenhouse verdict gives them permission to kill. I've lost the definition of right and wrong. Like, again, how? They pointed a loaded weapon at his head that they weren't supposed to have. They attacked him with a skateboard. Dude tried to stomp his head into the asphalt, into the road, which means they could have knocked him out, killed him, and stole his weapon. All their looting and burning down car lots and buildings and stuff. So please enlighten me, like any of these people, Mia Farrow. So anyone can come to a protest, just march down the middle of the street with a massive gun and kill people. No, because that's not actually what happened. Thank you very much. Josh Gad. It has now been put out there that vigilantes can just go and kill people protesting issues like racial equality whenever they want and get away with it. Think about that for a second. An 18-year-old who gunned down two men in cold blood and got away with it is being hailed as a hero today by many. You can choose to stand with them, or you can choose to fight back against the frightening shit and vote against those who would cheer this fucker and offer him internships. Like, okay, by the way, again, here you go. When someone's trying to stomp his head into the dirt, someone's pointing a loaded weapon at his head, someone's swinging a skateboard at him and hitting him, trying to steal his weapon. That's called self-defense. In case anyone's listening to anything coming out of my mouth and all these quotes and is actually confused. Like, all those things were before he fired. Just called self-defense. You see the video where they're literally chasing his ass down the street when he's trying to get away from there before anyone got shot. Like, for the love of Christ, and protesting issues like racial equality. Where the hell does everyone jumping up and down on top of those cars with baseball bats and shattering all the glass and burning down car lots at the same place? What part of that is for racial equality? They're burning, torching car lots, buildings, businesses, looting stuff. Like, what part of that is marching for racial equality? Like, they were doing that during the day. Then all the psychopaths came out at night. People would actually be honest and tell the truth and actually give some facts. Might help stop the world from, burning down. And everyone listening to this will agree. Like, the world will probably burn less if people just use their heads and shut up. But after Josh Gad received pushback, he claimed that his critics were racist, incels, and anarchists. Not, again, not the people that were destroying car lots and lighting things on fire and starting fights and throwing Molotov cocktails, like all that stuff, which the prosecutor even admitted Rosenbaum was doing that night. When that's happening, that's not a protest for anything. That's actually called anarchy. For anyone confused at home. Apparently, lots of people are. Let's see. Ava DuVernay shared a statement made by Anthony Huber's parents. He's one of the people that got shot. Sends the unacceptable message that armed civilians can show up in any town, incite violence, and then use the danger that they created just by shooting people in the street. One, they were like, this was already like not the first night. Two, like, what part of the prosecutor saying that the people that he shot were there lighting things on fire? And you could see the videos of them swinging skateboards on, like fires were lit, like how much damage was done there. Like, holy shit. I'm sorry you're unhappy that your kid was a scumbag and got. But maybe he shouldn't be places lighting things on fire and attacking people. I know y'all agree with that. Model Brooklyn Decker called the verdict a disaster, and the precedent is terrifying. The injustice is hard to stomach. Again, like, read the statute, read the actual facts. Don't just be a talking head for the left so you can keep working. Actually use your damn brains. Star Wars star George Takei, Star Trek, sorry. Yeah, Star Wars, my ass. Good job, stupid. See? Got all excited and wrote it wrong. Star Trek, star George Takei. Justice denied is a body blow to our national psyche. On trial was not only a killer, but a system that continues to kill. Today, that system defeated true justice once again. But mark these words, we will never stop fighting for what is just and right. So letting him get his head stomped in, people steal his weapon and all that, like, and felons and child rapists holding guns, pointing guns at people, like doing all that, like lighting fires, that's okay. Like, him defending himself is the injustice. Like, you actually have to be stupid. George Takei said a lot of dumb things. Colin Kaepernick, he had to say, son, yeah, this only further validates the need to abolish our current system. Not guilty verdict only validates the terrorist acts of white supremacists. We just witnessed a system built on white supremacy validate the terrorist acts of white supremacists. Well, actually, as you noticed, the 3 people he shot, in case anyone out there is confused, it's listening to this, whether you're left, right, indifferent, I don't know, in the middle. They were all white. The guy that actually tried to stomp his head in initially was shot, over his head. That was a black guy, but they never, they pretend they didn't know who the guy was, and he didn't take the stand ever to say, yeah, I tried to stomp his head into the dirt. Asphalt, sorry. But yeah, Colin Kaepernick, like, that's why you saw that, there's a rowing machine out. It's, got water in the tub, and you just use that for your resistance. Then they went and put Colin Kaepernick in there. Bet you their sales are not going to go up from that, because everyone hates the guy. Because when you see stuff like this, a white guy shoots 3 white people attacking him and tried to kill him, when a bunch of white people are burning shit to the ground, like, that's nothing to do with, like, how was that? Last time I checked their definition, white supremacists don't shoot other white supremacists. So, like, please, for the love of God. Democrat Jerry Nadler, we all know I love the Penguin. This heartbreaking verdict is a miscarriage of justice and sets a dangerous precedent which justifies federal review by the Department of Justice. Yeah, he went there. Justice cannot tolerate armed persons crossing state lines looking for trouble while people engage in First Amendment protected protest. 1, lighting things on fire and destroying property. It's not a peaceful protest anymore. They don't have the right to do that. That's called anarchy. Arson, grand larceny, assault and battery. Like, there's all kinds of, like, actual things that were happening there that had nothing to do with any of the protests that happened during the day. And people were very peaceful, most of the day. It was all hell that broke loose during night. 2, let's go with you. Armed persons crossing state lines. 1, his family lived there. 2, the gun was in the city. Kenosha wasn't at his mom's house. It was in Kenosha, so he didn't cross lines with the gun. You figured someone that's, running one of our committees, is that big of a, person, like, in the pecking order for all the stuff he does, seniority on, that he would actually, know these things before he opens his big, fat, useless mouth. Yeah. And then responses to Jerry Nadler, because he's dumb. Dan McLaughlin from National Review, white congressman who represents Wall Street district, calls for retrial of criminal defendant acquitted of shooting 3 white men. True. Dana Lash is a radio host. See her on Fox News a bunch. The chairman of the Judiciary Committee, which Jerry Nadler is, there we go, just lied by calling Rittenhouse an armed person crossing state lines. His gun was never in Illinois. His dad lives in and Rittenhouse works in Kenosha, 20 minutes away from his mom's in Antioch. This is an irresponsible ploy to incite, exactly, because he didn't cross state lines. It wasn't an illegal weapon. He actually had family there. So, like, he didn't just happen to be there. Like, but they keep pushing all the dumb shit. Now, how many times, even in a court of law and everything, like, prosecutors admitting it, like, we're all crazy people, though. Yeah. Ken Cuccinelli is a former Virginia Attorney General. This astounding act of legislative tyranny comes from the man currently chairing the House Judiciary Committee. If anyone needs a reminder why Patrick Henry and so many others have valued a jury system so highly, look no farther than this vile tweet. Yes, because he actually is worthless. Like, Jerry Nadler should know better, but no one on the left's going to hold him accountable. And then Matt Whitlock, who's a political strategist, genuinely baffled by the Democrat messaging here. They want a clearly innocent kid to get charged with murder to make up for what they see as other injustices in the system. What would that accomplish? Nothing. What does it accomplish also? That there's, like, newspapers in other countries and overseas and stuff that say he killed 2 black men. Like, they were very white last time I saw. I'm not colorblind. Like, believe it or not, that's white. That's blue. If I undim the screen, that's red. That's pink. There's green. That's red. That's blue. Like, I'm not colorblind. The walls are dark gray. That's a red flag. So I don't know how the hell they're getting away calling it thing with a bunch of black people. Like, that's just, it's mind altering. Like, the ridiculousness coming out of, like, the whole entire side of the left and all of them all across the world. Like, it really is terrifying. Democrat and, fine squad member. Pretty sure that is our dear friend. What is her name? Cori Bush. There you go. The judge, the jury, the defendant. It's white supremacy in action. This system isn't built to hold white supremacists accountable. It's why black and brown folks are brutalized and put in cages. White supremacist murderers walk free. I'm hurt. I'm angry. I'm heartbroken. Again, how's a white kid shooting other white men that were attacking him? A clear-cut case of self-defense. White supremacists, when they're all white, they don't do that weird whispering thing that Joe does. Like, it's about all you can do. Like, the level of stupid that comes out of like every member of the squad is just mind altering. How the hell is white guy killing white guys, other white men, attacking him, shooting another one who's definitely a felon, shouldn't have had a gun to point at the kid's head in the first damn place? How is that white supremacy? I just, it really is mind altering. I just don't get it. It hurts. But the response is Stephen L. Miller, who's a podcast host, that she has no idea what any of these words mean and couldn't explain how any of this was white supremacy if you sat her down and told her to explain to you. Yes, they just call you racist for asking. Columnist David Hookstead, a sitting member of Congress, is hurt, angry, and heartbroken because Kyle Rittenhouse killed a convicted pedophile. Of all the insane takes, this is among the worst. Political commentator Delano Squires, Delano, if I butchered you. My problem with the left and the Afrostocracy in particular is how much out of touch they are with the realities of life in America. Black people are 13% of the population and 50% of homicide victims. Only time they bring attention to a case is when the perp is white. Shameful, which it really is, because the numbers are like all kind of like they're dying way faster than we ever could, but they don't want to talk about that because that's the actual problem. They just want to blame everything on racism because it pushes agendas. Political commentator David Bois, if you think these people don't want Zimbabwe, you've got no idea what time it is. Fox News, Letha Booth, what a liar. All they do is lie to divide. Such evilness, true. Columnist Drew Holden. I remain quite curious about what intellectual contortions it takes to determine that a white guy being found not guilty for defending himself against 3 other white guys amounts to white supremacy in action. I'm kind of confused about that myself. Former CIA officer Brian Dean Wright, sounds like a serial killer with 3 names. Watch out. Not saying you are one if you ever hear this. People with 3 names. I mean, like, the left is once again stirring their followers into mass hysteria. Bad things come from stuff like this. Yes. You have to go back to Carrie Ells, star of Princess Bride, who's in all kinds of things. Another disappointing victory for white supremacy. Again, please enlighten me, Carrie. How? Like, that's what I want out of this. Someone please just tell me how. Pretty please. I'll send you an autographed picture of someone randomly, of a wrestler. If you're into that, like someone. Yeah, Bubba Wallace. We all know I love me some Bubba Wallace because he still ran on it, even though the FBI proved that it was a garage pull last year. 13 people, FBI agents, they went and proved it wasn't a news, and he still ran on it forever. But let the boy be black, and it would have been life. Hell, he would have had his life taken before the bullshit trial. If only, Bubba could use his damn brain. He'd probably actually race better if he could do that. But, Gavin Newsom, we all know I love him. America today, you can break the law, carry around weapons built for the military, shoot and kill people, and get away with it. That's the message we just sent to armed vigilantes across the nation. Actually, he didn't break the law. People were breaking the law. People were attacking him and trying to kill him, kick his head into the asphalt, steal his weapon, hit him with skateboards, all that. And he defended himself. So stop trying to stir the pot, especially out of California. It's not like the state hasn't gone to hell or anything. Hey, let's just keep stirring the pot and make people hate you even more. He shot people that were attacking him, and he turned himself in, don't attack people. That won't happen. Don't point guns at people when you're not even supposed to have them. Just saying. Ayanna Pressley, another great member of the squad. Swear to God, they all actually are stupid. Racism, white supremacy remain the bedrock of our legal system. My heart breaks for the family and loved ones of those whose lives were stolen and the trauma our community is faced today and every day. The struggle for accountability, for justice, for healing goes on. Like, he got off because it was self-defense. Chauvin went to jail because it was murder. And people still turn around, just buy into this bullshit. It really hurts my head. And of all people, Chris Cuomo on CNN telling Don Lemon that he thought the verdict and the subsequent protests were a terrible situation, and pointed out that because of the systemic racism, you're going to have people saying if he was black, this would be different. But then the shocker, he says, The verdict is justified by the law and the facts, and that's what we should want every time. We want this outcome no matter who the defendant is. Even though there's a whole lot more to that conversation with him and Don Lemon, just to hear those words come out of his mouth on CNN, maybe they're realizing how bad their ratings were or something. They're trying to save their asses. I don't know. That's with all this coming out about Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo can't be helping them, but then Reese Witherspoon, too bad she only had the brains to play a lawyer. She couldn't actually be one or learn anything. Apparently, woke up this morning thinking about every mother, sister, brother, friend. What about father? Thanks. Leave them out. Who has lost someone in senseless gun violence in America. And then there was no justice for their pain. This is a disgrace. Next one. No one should be able to purchase a semi-automatic weapon, cross state lines, kill 2 people, wound another, and go free. In what world is this safe for any of us? Next one. And U.S. representatives and judges who support this recklessness will not be receiving my vote ever. So, okay, here we go. Senseless gun violence. Please look at Chicago and all those other places. Chicago, Jackson, Michigan, Detroit, Baltimore, Knoxville. There's lots of places that have lots of, sadly, look where they all are. Who runs them all? Where they're literally, look at the number in just Chicago. Like, there's senseless gun violence with little kids getting taken out every single day. Yet none of you pussies, no one on that side has the balls to talk about that. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but none of them have the balls to even pretend to do that. No one should be able to purchase a semi-automatic weapon. Hey, cross state lines, which, again, he has family that lives in Kenosha. His gun, so again, another lie. If you people could just, read, they read scripts enough. You think they'd be able to, read this. It's not like it's that hard. Kill 2 people, again, who are attacking him. Wound another and go free. It's because it's called self-defense. Not as safe for any of us, because people were burning things to the ground, lighting things on fire, and attacking people. The prosecutor admitted it. He defended himself. Please get out of your bubble up on the hills and go live in the real world for about 5 seconds. It might do you some good, you stupid schmuck. Pedro Pascal, Joseph Rosenbaum, 36, and Anthony Huber, 27, murdered August 25th, 2020. Rest in peace, in a tweet. And, apparently, as everyone keeps talking about how he's a hero and a victim, apparently they missed that Rosenbaum did a lot of time for, sex crimes with, children, boys, ages 9 to 11. There's 5 of those kids that include anal rape, masturbation, showing minors pornography, and oral sex. And then he was out there. And it was admitted by the prosecutor that he was lighting things on fire, doing destruction, starting fights, incidents, and all that. And here you guys are, and travel. And most of those guys travel farther than Rittenhouse did, because he had family there. And if I swear, anyone in Hollywood, grow a set, actually tell the truth. All you're doing is pushing this shit, and it's just making the world a worse place. Because people think for yourself. If you're on the other side and you're listening to me, I'm sorry. By the statute, that's self-defense. Didn't cross state lines with a gun. It was already there. He had family there, so it's not like he just randomly went there. Lots of family there. Dad lived there, grandparents, all kinds of stuff. Worked there. So we could push that right out the thing. Look at the videos and photos, them pointing gun at his head, which one of them was a felon who shouldn't have a gun. So there's that again. And he was even on the stand and admitted that Kyle Rittenhouse didn't fire at him until he pointed a gun at his head. In case anyone's confused, but I really wish people to actually know the facts and not just spew the bile bullshit, because the world's on fire. And no one seems to actually give a damn. They just want to keep stoking it because it keeps them, where they are, and it keeps all of us where we are. But as they keep talking about it, let's go with the black kid. Man. Timothy George Simpkins shot and injured 4 people at Timberview High School in Arlington, Texas. 4 people in a school. 2 died, 2 were injured. 4 of them in a school. No self-defense. They went to a school and shot people. Released the next day and only had $75,000 bail. Less than a day later, of jail time. Kyle Rittenhouse, I'm pretty sure, was on $2 million bail for self-defense. I'm sure they see I guess that means white supremacy. Kyle getting shafted for self-defense, getting $2 million, and this dude only getting $75K for shooting people in a school. Yeah, so please come at me and talk about inequality. Or how about the one that just got, released in Waukesha, Wisconsin, that they're now, the DA's office is now looking into why his bail was so ridiculously low that apparently there was a domestic dispute right before he took off in that car and ran all those people over at the parade. Now, because believe it or not, there might be some crowding, some dumb stuff like people in there forever for weed charges. They only have a little bit. Yeah, if they're violent criminals, you probably keep them in there. This is what a lot of them do when they get out. So, I'm just trying to figure out, like what white supremacy has to do with it. A white guy defending himself against three other white guys. All three are felons, one of them with sexual crimes against children, ages 9 to 11, to include anal sex. And they're praising him as a victim. No, he was a scumbag that was out there doing scumbag things. The prosecutor admitted he was out there doing scumbag things and he got. Self-defense, clear cut. Don't have to like it, but you also just don't go and spread bullshit and lies about it like, Jerry Nadler and so many other people are. It's not that hard. Apparently, having some kind of, integrity in Hollywood and anyone on that side is very, very difficult. They just have to push stupid as much as humanly possible for ratings and to keep, this division going. But it's not really that hard to actually look up and see the actual facts, how they're blaming white supremacy on the outcome of it. And BLM, like they say, they only show up, the only one is when a black person gets shot by the police, the white officer and all that. Why were they outside protesting this at all? Because that was a full-fledged riot with a bunch of white guys involved in the incident, and the black guys actually got taken care of and he got charged with something else and he didn't have to testify, even though he's in a picture trying to stomp Kyle Rittenhouse's head in. I just don't get where white supremacy is involved. They keep pushing it and idiots out there like Drew keep eating it up. Yes, I'm going to talk shit about him every day, so I apologize. But how do you, all the facts are right there. It takes about 13 seconds to figure it all out. And people just rather keep spewing lies and then keep believing it all, which just keeps these idiots doing exactly what they're doing. But it is what it is. At least I know I'm not dumb. All you people listening to me, you're not dumb. Your ears might not work to be choosing to listen to this voice, but you're not dumb. We all have common sense and can read and can critically think. That's the big one. We can actually use our brains. That's the biggest point of it all. We can think on our own, which I've finally accepted and fully given that no one on the other side really apparently can. Doesn't mean this is clear as cut as it can be, as easy to figure out, and people are still right on bandwagon jumping on it like it's some kind of white supremacy thing. No, just a bunch of idiots trying to attack a kid and getting got. I had to use that phrase, but and the survivor that didn't die mentioned, he didn't shoot us till I pointed my weapon at his head, even though I'm a felon and I shouldn't have a weapon at all. Let's pretend that never happened. And just go after Kyle. It's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. But that being said, I'm going to get off my soapbox. Might do one with my mother this week, but fair warning, I am going up to PA for the holiday. See them. They just got over COVID and tested negative yesterday, so I'm all clear to go up there. So I might record and then post it later when I'm up there with her, just on internet purposes, or if I can even get her to sit down. But otherwise, I will be back Monday for a show. Again, never know. I can get stuck up there bored. Boom, go. So you never know, but I'll be back. I appreciate it. Don't forget to follow along on all the platforms, to include now up on Right Only and Cloud Hub on there. Don't forget to give me a view. Again, share it out no matter what you're listening on. Doesn't take long. You can share it out whether you're on Spotify, Apple or Google Podcast, Anchor, Pocket Cast, Overcast, YouTube, Facebook. You can share it all out. Every time you see it, share it, because the algorithm likes to screw with me. So people don't even realize that I did release anything. So I appreciate y'all. Again, might be back this week, might just come back next week after the holiday. Depends on how everything goes. But I appreciate y'all. Please follow along, comment, and tell me what you think. That's really the big one. Share them out. Enjoy Thanksgiving. And until we meet again, my friends, peace.